Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to Akim and Akwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one's titled, Esau's issues with Jake causes them to forget history. All right, and I'm actually going to change it to, I think I might change it. Esau and Ammons, I think that's how you would spell it. It would be just with an S, right? Yeah, so, okay. So Esau and Ammon's issues with Jake cause them to forget history. So, we had to go ahead and update the title. So Esau and Ammon's issues with Jake caused them to forget history. All right, and you brothers and sisters that know me, you hear me mention games a lot. I'm pretty big into, video games. So, when I was on Reddit earlier, the news is that they just dropped, well, not dropped, but they're releasing a new Assassin's Creed game. Now, I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed games. I've played a couple of them. I've played 3, not in its entirety. I kind of got bored with it. And that one has a Native American in it, right? But they all have different protagonists. There's one with an Italian guy. There's one with an Arabic guy. There's one with a Native American in 3. A French in like one of the spin-offs. There's a French woman, I believe. And so on and so forth. People that were reminiscent of that time. And the controversy is with the new guy, all right, Yosuke, all right, being, as you see, a so-called black man. Okay, now they say a so-called African, all right, but the thing is that there's 2 protagonists. You have a Japanese woman right there. Japanese lady's right there. She's Japanese. Not all that. There's 2 million protagonists, and one of them's Japanese. One of them just happens to be Yosuke, who happens to be a historical person, by the way. He's not just someone made up. A real person. All right, a real. Well, hold off on the term samurai. A real warrior of that period of Japan. Okay, let's continue to look at some screenshots. I guess that's all they're giving us. Oh. So look, you have a couple photos here. Look, that's obviously the Asian lady. See, she's in the hood and he's in the samurai outfit. So let's go back from the front. We got Asian lady. I'm gonna count. Black guy 1, black guy 2, but with Asian lady. So I'm not gonna count that. So not gonna count that one because that one's out. Asian lady. Okay. So that's so wait, let me go back to the top. I want to make sure I'm counting these correctly. So we go for the top. Okay, so Asian lady 1, black guy 1. All right, both. Okay, so we're skipping that. Asian lady, all right, black guy, Asian lady, 8, and so there's three photos of the Asian lady and only 2 of the black guy by himself. And people are up in arms about this. And I'm saying black for a reason because, they say that he was African. All right, but going back into history, a guy like that wouldn't have been African, regardless of where he came from. That would have been a Jake. All right, Yasuke was a Jake. So continuing on, and that's why you really hate it at the end of the day. Okay, you see it, and they show character art for. I really like this art. This is nice. All right, that's very traditional Japanese, okay? But this is what they have a problem with, okay? And it's not because of skin. It's not because of skin. It's not because of armor or anything like that. If he had slant eyes and been Asian, all right, it would have been just okay. It'd been just okay, right? That's just how it goes. But you have an Asian protagonist right here, all right? You have one, so it's mixed. And why is the problem with the black guy? Because Esau and Ammon and Moab, all these heathens, they have issues with Jake, all right? And anybody that happens to look like Jake, all right? Asians historically do not like black people. All right. Oh, you black. Why your skin so black? Oh, face black. Oh, you black ink. You look like ink. Racist as shit, man. But then anytime Jake says anything, we can't say nothing. All right. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we can't say shit against them. All right. Or we're the racist one. Oh, stop Asian hate. Stop Asian hate. But they can say all these different things. All right. Look. You know, remember during a vid, all right? Let me go back. We've been informed that from now on, black people are not allowed to enter the restaurant. Look at that. Look at that type of shit, man. What else do we got? Look at this sign. Where was it? African. It says targeting black people. I don't know what the sign says, but something about an African thing, and there's some sort of racism going on. All right. Meanwhile, you know, everyone's going with stop Asian hate. There's no fucking Asian hate going down, man. You know, it's not like you think. All right. You know. Chinese museum accused of racism over photos pairing Africans with animals. All right, so you see it. So this is Moab, man. This is Moab, and it's Ammon. You know, dealing with Ammon for the It's dealing with Ammon for the Japan. All right, because the Japanese people are Ammonites. But you know this is how people in general think of us. All right. So if they would have made that person, I don't know, white, okay? If that would have been a white samurai, they would have had no problem with it. Would have been no problem with it at all. Matter of fact, I have a picture right here. It says everyone complaining about Assassin's Creed Shadow having a black samurai also had a problem with this, right? Right? Neo having a white guy in Japan. Right, with blonde hair and blue eyes. No one had a problem with Neo at all. No one had a problem with it at all. So the problem isn't that it's not accurate. The problem isn't, oh, we wanted an Asian guy. That's not the problem. The problem is that he's black. Okay? The problem is that he's black. The problem is that he's a Jake. All right, and they have an issue with that. They do not like it. Okay? Even though they're like, oh, it's not historical. This isn't historical. Why would a black guy? Well, why would a black guy have been over there? Well, Yasuke, right here, was a man likely of African origin. We know he's not African. It says African, but we know they call our people, you know, the Judites, they call them African Americans. No, Yasuke was a Jake. All right, that's why he was probably a badass. It says who served as a servant and retainer to the Japanese. Now we're gonna look up what is a retainer. Okay, retainer. We'll just look up retainer. All right. All right. Okay. So what is a retainer? Because people, oh, he was just a retainer. He was just a retainer. All he was a retainer. He's just a fucking retainer. All right. What were they? Retainer. Samurai retainers are elite. This is from a video game, so we won't read that. Look. University of Oxford. This is from 1942. Can't say this one was changed. Okay, what is a retainer? This is retainer armor. So wait, whoa. Let's go back 1 minute. Let's go back here. We want to make sure we're putting him in appropriate armor. Okay, so let's go back. So other than this thing being so wide, it looks to be pretty accurate armor. All right, so accurate to the armor, got it. That would be retainer armor. All right, they got that in 1942. It says retainer armor from Japan, Asia, collected by Edbert Hewitt, given to the Museum of Hereford Museum in 1942. It says This is a suit of retainer armor. A retainer refers to a vassal in feudal Japan, usually a samurai. He was not a samurai. He wasn't a samurai. Usually a samurai providing military services. There you go. There you go. Right? So he was usually a samurai providing military services. What's a samurai retainer? Well, that was another one. Samurai retainer. Retainers were basically freelance samurai from less powerful clans. They would be retained to a lord and receive a stipend, housing, yada, yada, yada. Okay? There you go. Usually a samurai providing military services. Okay? There you go. Okay, so they were what? Samurais that would provide military services. Samurais that would provide military services. Okay?
He wasn't a samurai. He wasn't a samurai. He wasn't a samurai.
Right here, Trey Watson. Retainers were still samurai. All right. Well, this one, dealing with it, looking up where retainer samurai. This is talking about, this guy's, proving the point. All right. Retainers were still samurai. Let's see what he has to say. This is a black dude right here, and this is another black dude, and this guy's a fucking coon. All right, this guy, we're gonna get with him. We don't even have to show that one because he's right here. All right, so we're not gonna play it there. We're gonna play it here. This guy says, "Hi there, Trey Watson, BA Asian Studies. Focus on Japanese history." Okay, so this guy right here does Asian Studies, and he has focused on Japanese history. And if you go and look at his profile, it looks like he's pretty into Japanese shit. Okay, you see it. Okay, he says retainers were still samurai. Yasuke was favored by Nobunaga and was by his side until the Hanoji, I'm probably butchering that, incident where he ran into Nobunaga's son's resident and dueled Akechi. It's real. Cope harder. He should really have said coon harder. Be a fucking coon harder. This is the problem with this guy right here, Kaida, he might not even be a Jake. He might just be a fucking an Edomite or a Ammonite, just covered in a chocolate coating. Okay? So let's go and get a scripture first. Let's go and get a scripture. We're gonna go ahead and right off the bat, and this is all Esau, regardless if Jake's saying it or not. This is all Esau's word. All right, Jake has been trained to think like this, and all these people have been trained to think like this because of they hate Jake. All right, Moab has it too, not because of the blessing. We gotta realize Esau and Moab and Ammon dick ride the fuck out of Esau because they want a little part of that so-called American dream. All right, they want to be involved in that. So they dick ride the fuck out of Esau in Babylon and want to be just like them, do the same things. When Esau says, "That's wrong," they say, yeah, you're right, Esau, that is wrong. They do the same thing. And also when it comes to Jake, they hate Jake just as much. All right, Moab was selling Jakes. All right, Ammon, I'm sure, was selling Jakes as well. All of the heathens have had a part in our downfall, right? They were all doing terrible things against us. And Moab and Esau were working hand in hand, man. So let's go and get Genesis 27:1 through 41. It says, so let's get here it is. This is Genesis 27:1. Well, actually, we're gonna get Ezekiel. Before we get that, we're gonna get Ezekiel 35:19. Okay, we're gonna get Ezekiel 35:19 because regardless, this is really focusing not much on Ammon, but scripture-wise, but it is focusing on Esau. Because Esau's our ultimate enemy. They're the one that's bitching about this the most. They're the ones that's throwing up the fit. Oh, you black samurai. Like a bunch of fucking babies, man. This is Ezekiel 35:1 through 9. It says, "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it." All right, now it's not saying set your face against a mountain and prophesy it. It's talking about the people that dwelled there. And who dwelled in Mount Seir? The Edomites. Look it up. Just look up Mount Seir. Who dwelled there? We'll do it for you. All right. Who lived in Mount Seir? The Edomites. The Edomites. Right? There you go. It says, an example, the Edomites came along with the Ammonites and Moabites against Jehoshaphat of Judah. There you go. So look at that. Boom. In Chronicles 20 and 22 through 23, it talks about this. We were just mentioning about Esau having dealings with the Ammonites and Moabites, and look, they all fucking dick ride daddy. Oh, look, it's Esau.
Oh, yeah, maybe we can get a little bit of his blessing.
No, so they just follow him around, man. So all these fucking devils, Ammonites, Moabites, and Edomites, Ammonites, Moabites, they're all dick clinging to Esau, and Esau's doing what Esau does, killing Jake and having their hatred. And so, you know, being around these guys, they probably imparted, you know, more of a hatred than they already had. All right, so that's how that works, man. And Esau, they won't change. All right, and Ammon and Moab, man, they were right there hand in hand with them. So, you know, they were doing all sorts of wicked shit to us. Says, so verse 2 again, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus say the Lord Yahweh, Behold, on Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Yeah, and we saw that Moab and Ammon was right there. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Barak the Yahweh Shem Yahushai that popped up in that little article, because it didn't have to. But it did, proving our point, you know? Really proving the Lord's point. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. He's saying, you know, let these Edomites know that I'm going to destroy the hell out of them. Right? Why? Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. All right, what is perpetual? We've done it time and time again, but let's go and get it. Let's go. That's not the right one. Let's go and get it. What is perpetual? Perpetual means what? Everlasting, unceasing, existing indefinitely, continuing forever in further time. There you go. They've hated us so much.
Oh, I hate these freaking N-words. These coons.
And, you know, that's all they do. They just sit there and seethe and writhe. All right, and they make songs about hating N-words and killing N-words and watermelon eating N-words and chicken eating N-words and beaners and fence hoppers and wetbacks and Geronimo and spear chuck Jave down the, oh, I am Indian, man. All these different things. That's what they sit around. They do. And if you ever talk to an Edomite that's really hatred, they never shut the fuck up about it. You know, you can't talk about football or you can't talk about anything else. It's all about all these goddamn blacks coming around, these Mexicans, all these goddamn foreigners. You know, that's all they talk about, man. Now, we talk about Esau through the scripture because we have to, like it says, we were commanded by the Lord. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So we're prophesying against this people and prophesying of their downfall through Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The Lord's going to destroy these people. But these people, it's not set for them to prophesy. They just bitch and they complain and they whine. They're little fucking crybabies, man. God damn. Someone give them a bottle to suck on, a titty or something. Because all they do is bitch and whine and cry like a fucking toddler, man. Yasuke was a real dude. A real dude. And they're bitching. A real dude and they're bitching. And the guy said they were a samurai.
You know, it was just a retainer. It was just a retainer.
It's the same thing. It's not exactly the same thing, but they were still samurai, okay? They're still samurai. So that's like,
oh no, he wasn't an army, he was Marine.
Well, they're basically serving the same purpose at the end of the day, okay? Are they not? It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and thy hills and thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual. Oh, we used that word earlier. I will make thee perpetual desolation. So they're going to be in desolation perpetually. And thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So, hey, man, he's messed with the Edomites before, but this one coming up, whoo, it's going to be bad. He's going to destroy all the nations of the earth, all right? And 2/3 of Jake. All right? So it's not going to be good, man. It can be very terrible for them. And then they have to pay back that. They have to go into bondage. They have to go into slavery, these Edomites. They have to go into slavery. Lead into captivity. Right here. This is Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Another one. Ask of me. right? Psalms 2 and 8. What is one of the rewards for Israel, the real Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? What's the real reward for us? Psalms 2 and 8. Well, one of the real rewards, one part of it. Psalms 2 and 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So not only are we going to have possession of the heathen, we're going to have possession of the uttermost parts of the earth. All right, land, right? What are we going to do to them? Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. I got those ones just to piss y'all off, all right? Because I know some of y'all are going to make it over here. Because I might put Assassin's Creed in the title somehow. Who knows? I don't know. But going back, Yasuke, who is he? It says, Yasuke was a man likely of African, he was of Israelite origin, who served as a servant and retainer to the Japanese daimyo Oda Nobunaga, all right, from 1581 to 1582 during the Sengoku period. Okay, he was retained by the daimyo as a kasho, all right, I can't pronounce this shit, for a period of 15 months until Nobunaga's death in the You See It incident, all right? It says, among those whose names have been associated, he is the earliest African to appear in Japanese historical records, but maybe not there entirely, but in records. But his confirmed period of stay in Japan was very short, about 3 years. Confirmed period of stay. See all these terms that they're using, confirmed period of stay. And people are battling over the article and trying to change it right now too, so that, take it with a grain of salt. It says from 17th August to August 1579 to June, 1582. All right, but anyway, you see it. It says few details. It says the name Yasuke was given to him by Nobunaga. His real name is unknown, and it is unclear what he was called before that. Few details are known about him, including his date of birth, his place of birth, his ethnicity, and native language. Huh, interesting. It says, however, there seems to be no doubt that he had African roots. Black roots is what they're just really saying when they say African. As Louis Froese wrote of Yasuke as Kafri in his letters, all right, which as Kafri is a ethnic slur used towards black people being common in South Africa. Okay, so you see it. So they used a slur towards him. All right, so who does that show you? Probably was. States that he was a servant brought from India when Alessandro Villagnano came to Japan. So they say that he was probably he was actually Portuguese East Africa, now Mozambique. That's what they say he was from. He has a documented life there. You see it. We're not going to read all of it. We don't need to read all of it. Okay, but we do have a couple reports. It says Louis Froe's annual report in Japan states that Nobunaga also longed to see a black man. It says, and summoned him, and Fr. Argentino took him to him, and that Nobunaga, seeing a black man for the first time, refused to believe that his skin color was natural and was not applied later. They made him remove his clothes from the belt upward. Valignano describes how Nobunaga, thinking that he might have ink on his body, made him take off his clothes and wash his body, but the more he washed and scrubbed, the darker his skin became. It says, there's an excerpt, a black bozu from the Christian country has arrived. He appeared to be 26 or 7 years old. The blackness of his body is like that of a bull, but he is healthy and in fine physique. Moreover, he has the strength. Listen here, this is how you know it was Jake. Moreover, he has the strength of more than 10 men. The padres came with him and thanked Lord Nobunaga for his permission to proselytize, or proselytes, whatever that is. But you see, he has the strength. And they always say, what do they? Oh, he has that gorilla strength. He has the strength of 5 men. It takes like fucking 5 Edomites to take down one Jake. All right. So that's how you know it was a Jake. He has the strength of more than 10 men. And this is why they don't want Yasuke to be in the game. They don't want him to be in there, even though he was there, even though he was in Japan during this time, even though he was a type of samurai. They don't want him there. Why? Is it because he isn't accurate? He isn't historically accurate? No, it's because he's black. They don't want him because he's black. That's why. All right. It says a black man was taken on as a vassal by Nobunaga and received a stipend. His name was decided to be Yasuke, and he was given a short sword and a house. He was sometimes made to carry Nobunaga-sama's tools. Okay? It said the black man understood a little Japanese, and Nobunaga never tired of talking to him. And because he was strong and could do a few tricks, Nobunaga took great pleasure in protecting him and had him roam over the city of Kyoto with an attendant. Some people in town thought that Nobunaga might make him his Tono, or make him as Tono. Lord, might made him the Lord. So there you go. You see it. You know, we don't even need to continue. You see it. You see it. There's speculated depictions. Here's a couple depictions. Him right here. All right. Looks like he has afroic hair in the picture. So there's one depiction. How do we get out of here? What else do we got? We got other ones, right? You see him. What else do we got? This was called the unloading of a black ship. Okay, so who knows? You know, he's more than likely some type of captive that was originally let free somehow, made his way to Japan. Who knows how it happened? You know, but why is everybody bitching? All right, and everyone's bitching. Now this one's titled, "What's Up with Assassin's Creed Shadow?" I just watched the trailer for this video game, and all the people in the comments were emphasizing how they should not pre-order and not trust Ubisoft. They seemed unhappy with the game. Then I go to Assassin's Creed Reddit, where everyone seemed to be praising it, generally and talking about pre-ordering. I couldn't figure out why and if this game is hated. Even with looking at the comments, not an Assassin's Creed player either, so sorry if I'm missing something obvious. Well, going back to some comments that I had highlighted, it says, "Answer, let's be real. People don't like the Black Samurai, even though it's based on a real person." Here we go with Ammon. As a Japanese, it kind of sucks that we finally get an Assassin's Creed game in Japan, but we don't even get to play as a Japanese samurai. Also, it's a stealth game. Why are we playing as the only black person in all of Japan at the time? It goes deeper, and it feels fairly often that Japanese culture gets hijacked often in the West for some African-American focused story. There's also a hip-hop themed Yasuke anime on Netflix not long ago for that example. I have nothing against African Americans. Bullshit, you fucking gook. It says, but more apt environment for that to focus on the point. Blah 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 blah. Why do they choose a Native American for that of the Civil War era? Shouldn't that, which you should have been Ulysses S. Grant. You should have been one of the other people. Why did you have to play as a filthy Native American? Nobody bitched then. And well, actually, you know what? Some people probably did bitch. But you're just bitching, man. All you're doing is bitching. Shut the fuck up. All right? All you do is bitch and see how...
Oh, like, our culture gets hijacked all the time. Our culture gets hijacked.
Our culture gets hijacked all the time. We have the most historically hijacked culture, you dumb bitch. You stupid idiot. You moron. You dumb motherfucker. You stupid. Are you dumb? Seriously, man. We have the most hijacked culture. We got a fucking bunch of people over there with tiny hats masquerading as us.
Our culture gets hijacked.
No, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. All right.
Our culture gets hijacked often for some African-American story.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No. Yeah, there's a couple black samurai, sure, but the majority of that shit is a bunch of fucking... But notice how when you go and look up anime characters, it's little white girls. Oh, Kani-san, how are you doing today? And nobody ever complains anything about them. No one ever says, oh, why is there white girls over in Japan? Why is there a white guy over as the leader in Japan? Why is this in this anime? Why is he a white guy? What's up with this white guy? Let's just go look up anime real quick. Let's go and look up anime. Let's go in, not Animorph Generator, anime. Let's just go and look up anime real quick. Let's just see some animes. Because these are all from Japan. All right. He looks white. He looks white. He looks like something else. He looks like white. He looks like white. She looks like white. She looks like white. All these people look like white. She's white. She's white. She's white. He's something. All these people look like white, right? You see it. They're all white. Why is Japanese culture not hijacked by white people? Why is it the dirty black people that are just the problem? All right, look at Naruto. Look, he's white. All right, Goku, he's white. All right. I don't know who his name is, but he's from Bleach. He's white. All right. All these different people are white, man. You know, some of my favorite animes, Claymore. All right. She's white. All right. She's white. All these people are white. But what is Ammon saying here? Japanese culture often gets hijacked in the West for some African-American focused story. Well, it's weird because your culture seems to be awfully replaced by white people, but you're not bitching and complaining about that. Why aren't you yelling and bitching about that? Why aren't you complaining about that? Why is it these damn no good, filthy African-Americans that you're worrying about? Because you hate our people, man, and we're not African-American. We're so-called black, Latino, and Native Americans. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But we go back to Israel. All right, we're Israelites. Okay? Not no African Americans. All right? Are Dominicans African Americans? No. Are Ethiopians African Americans? No. Are the dark Cubans African Americans? No. Are Jamaicans African American? No. So why is all the black people African American? That don't make no sense. Why are they not Jamaican Americans? Why are they not Haitian Americans? Why are they not Dominican Americans? Why are they not? Why? Why is it African? None of our people aren't from fucking Africa. Those are Hamites, man. But you see how they do it? You see how they do it? They think they're being slick. They think they're being slick. All right, this guy's saying, well, to be fair, Yasuke was Koncho, basically a sword bearer. He was a minor player in history, all right?
He was a sword bearer. Oh, yeah. We don't want him in here.
We know why. We know why. All right. And it says opinions on a rumored black samurai for Assassin's Creed Red, and that's the name before it was Shadow, right? Let me grab a drink. It says, personally, I don't like the idea much. I think it would be much more representative of Japan if a Japanese assassin took center stage. Well, there is. It's a female. They have her as well. It says, yada, 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 and then it just goes on, bitch. It says, before you call me a racist, know this. I would love having a black assassin, just not in a Japanese setting. I am Asian. Of course you're Asian. And I would love to have an Asian assassin take the center stage for once. What are you talking about? Ghost of Tsushima you weren't replaced in that. What? Go and play that. Go and play that. What about? There's so many games that I can't think of. You know, games with Japanese protagonists.
I just want a game where we can be represented as once.
We got Persona 4, we got Nier, Chrono Trigger, Yakuza, we got Monster Hunter, Steins Gate, Final Fantasy, Okami, Ghost of Tsushima, just mentioned that, right? All these different games. And you're saying,
oh, we know representation.
We just say, I don't like blacks. These stupid, filthy blacks are in my goddamn game. I don't want them. Get them out. Just say what you want, man. Say it. But stop trying to filibuster and say that, oh, no, it's not accurate. Well, Yasuke was accurate. He was a historical figure. He was a black samurai, or a retainer, if you will. And he was there, and he did exist. So nice try. You can't say it's not accurate. You can't say it's not period correct. You can't say that they're just adding things. No. He was a real-life black samurai. All right?
I kept basing the character off of a real Yasuke, a real black...
No, shut the fuck up, man. Just make him a cameo. So you're okay with him being in the game. You just don't want him as the lead character. That shows you're prejudiced even more. You're okay. It's not even that there's a black person in the game. You just don't want him being the main character. You don't want no filthy black being the main character, right? You don't want that. But put him as a side character, somewhere in the back. We don't, put him in the back of the bus, right? And it's fucking stupid ass gooks, man. That's bullshit. And the thing is, you can call us all sort of names. As soon as we call you Slant or Goot, we're the fucking problem. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. We're not dealing with you, man.
And Asian hate.
No, it's good. No one. We've been talking about how Esau does all this shit against so-called black, Latino, and Native American people. No one ever came thing. All of a sudden, Stop Asian Hate comes up and it fucking blows up. So fuck you and your fucking campaign, man. Fuck you. It says really disappointed with the black shinobi in Assassin's Creed Shadows. When I play a game in Japan, I want to play a Japanese male, not an African. When I play a game in Africa, I want to play an African male. Well, nobody bitched about, why did nobody bitch about Chris Redfield being in Resident Evil 5 in Africa? Of course you had Shiva, but nobody bitched about him. You have someone from the area and someone not from the area. In this game, you have someone from the area and someone not from the area. No one bitched then. Why are you bitching now? Well, people bitch then because it's in Africa. But now, why are people just want to bitch anytime it's something black? If it would have been a white guy, if it would have been a white protagonist, all right, nobody would have bitched. Nobody would have complained. Nobody would have said shit. Okay? That's it. No one would have said shit, except maybe white girls from, Oxford University. No, not even from Oxford. From some bullshit, middle line, community college with purple hair saying, oh, we need more representation. Fuck you, man. It says, let's get some more scriptures, man. I'm just sitting here talking. I don't have enough time to get this full scripture as I was gonna get. We'll have to get that some other time. But, it's down here. Verse 41, right? Genesis 27 and 41, again with Esau. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay? So it's, that's what, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Okay? That's what it is. It's because Jacob got the blessing. And Esau, you sold your birthright, man. You sold it all. Okay? So you're not entitled to nothing. And now you want it back. Well, you sold your blessing. It said you hated your blessing. So now all of a sudden you want it back. Sorry, you sold your birthright. Can't have it. Here's another meme from these people. Japanese Assassin's Creed fans excited to get a protagonist that represents them. And you see it. They made a meme out of it. Okay? So you see how these people act, man. But they had no problem with Neo. They had no problem with that at all. At all. It's fine if they're white. They just can't be black. Okay? And this guy just linked the article, okay? This linked just the article. He wasn't even a samurai per se, okay? So, it's, you see it. Shinobi isn't the same as samurai. Also, Yasuke is a real person, okay? So, at least, this person said goodbye. Goodbye. All right? It says, people defending this are slow in the head as to why it's a problem. At least it's getting literal dunked on in Japan right now. Oh, I'm defending it or slowing it. Why is it a problem? Why? Race swapping woke garbage. Yuck. All right. Well, what about all the time that black characters were replaced with white characters? How about then? You're not going to complain about that? All right. Let's listen to this coon talk for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and, you see it. I'm not going to play this, but you see it. Assassin's Creed Italy set in Italy plays an Italian man. Assassin's Creed set in France, played as a Frenchman. Assassin's Creed set in America, played by a Native American. Well, yeah, see, there's a problem with that. Why wasn't he played with by, one of the what do they call him? Why didn't you play a Confederate? It was set in America during those times. Why didn't you play a Confederate? And people did bitch about Native American. All right? People did complain about him being Native American, man. Back in the day, he did. Assassin's Creed set in Greece, Greek man. Set in Norway, played as Norse man. Set in Japan, played as black man and an Asian woman. There's an Asian woman in there as well. Japanese woman as well. So nice try. Nice try. And also in Assassin's Creed set in America, Assassin's Creed 3, you did play as a colonial. All right? You did. There was I can't remember who, but you played as a white guy as well as the Native American. You play as a black guy as well as a Japanese woman. So what's the problem? All right, let's hear this guy coon a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and get ready to close out. Let's hear him coon it up. Here you go. You already heard the guy, flame him earlier, but now we get to hear him coon it up. Here you go.
So we got our first look at the new Assassin's Creed game, and I gotta say, man, I am not impressed. I'm actually just really annoyed right now. We have two main protagonists, one female, one male, just like Odyssey. We're gonna be using Neo, I hope I said that right, a female Japanese character. And for the male character, they're gonna be using Yasuke. Now,
so they already got the Japanese female. They already got a Japanese character. You won. You got it. All right, there just happens to be a black guy that's with it. And soon as, I don't even know if this guy's a Jake, but he could be a Jake. Soon as he saw the report, he said, oh, gotta go and coon for Esau.
I know everybody needs a black guy's opinion on this, and I need to help these people. So, Super Coon, coming to the rescue.
I'm annoyed because they're using Yasuke, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why are you annoyed?
Yasuke is what they want to say is the first black Japanese samurai, when in all actuality, he was not even a samurai. He was a retainer.
We already got what that means.
So he wasn't even a full-blown samurai.
Yes, he was.
And for all of the characters they could have used for Japan, all these kind of different people they could have picked from, they picked Yasuke.
Because it's
Why
badass.
did they pick Yasuke?
Because it's badass.
Because he's black.
Yep, because it's badass.
So in context, that doesn't matter to me. Because
Who doesn't want to play as a black samurai? That's badass. You know, and I might just buy this game just to piss everybody off. Honestly, I'm not even that big of an Assassin's Creed fan, but I might just buy it to piss people off. It's the same thing, same reason why I bought Hogwarts Legacy. Everyone's like, oh, J.K. Rowling, she's so anti-trans. I'm like, cool, I'm buying this game. I'm buying this game, right? If any of that money goes to any towards that, I'm buying it, right? I'm buying it, all right? Because the pandering's got to stop. It's bullshit, man. All right, and some might say this pandering. In a way, it is. But Esau's just mad that their blessings wearing off. All right, they're mad that their blessings wearing off, and they can't just have a white person in this or an Asian person, anyone but black. All right, they were so used to having black people on the bottom, and now they're getting represented in media. They're getting shows. Jordan Peele's making shows. They're getting books. All right, and games, and they don't like it. All right. No. Throw the Asians in there. Throw the Asians in there. But god damn it, don't throw a black in there. If it was them in there, no one would have had a problem if it was a white samurai. No one would not have had a problem. They didn't have a problem with Neo, all right?
in all the Assassin's Creed games, every single character has been of some kind of different race and nationality, so that doesn't matter to me. That's fine. But you have to understand what day and age we're in. You have to understand the kind of social shit that they want to try to get across in these video games now. So instead of using a Japanese man in a game based,
they used a Japanese woman.
Like they did with the other Assassin's Creed games.
Used a Japanese woman.
He was an Arab, obviously. One of my favorites, Connor, in Assassin's Creed 3, he was Native American. That was fine. And the most famous of them all, Ezio Auditore, who was Italian. So why in all those games would you have a character representative of the region they're from? But in this game, you want to demote a Japanese man and then use Yasuke. I understand why, we know why, but they're not going to tell you why, because if you call it out, you're some kind of ist or phobe or whatever. And since I'm black and I'm calling it out, that means that I must hate my skin or something.
You
know
you're a fucking coon.
I just see this and my immediate thought is, they did this for brownie points. I can't think of any other reason why you would have
that has a little bit to do with
Assassin's
it.
Creed game based in Japan, which we've been clamoring for since the beginning of Assassin's Creed, and then have the main protagonist that is a male be black. I see that and I'm like, there's no other reason than I want claps for it. There's no other reason. And I'm gonna...
Yasuke was real. He was a real person. And you got a Japanese protagonist as well. There's two protagonists. One of them is Japanese. One of them is Japanese. One of them is Japanese. You have two protagonists. One of them is Japanese. You have your Japanese representation. Stop bitching. One of them, it's a problem. One of them happens to be black. That's the problem. Jake, if you're even that. One of them happens to be black. You have two main characters. One is Japanese. No Japanese representation. One of them is Japanese. One of them is Japanese. One of them is Japanese. How many more times do I gotta say it? One of them is Japanese. One of them's black. Oh, that's a problem. Why? You have a Japanese person. There's your representation. It's in there. A Japanese person in Japan. A black person. Why is that? Because the fucking problem is not that it's representation. The problem is that they're black. They don't want a black person in the game, man. Think about it.
Assassin's Creed fan. I've played every game. I love every game. And one of my favorite characters is actually Cassandra from Odyssey. So nobody can sit here and say, I don't like women or I don't like diverse people or whatever, when one of my favorite characters is diverse. Hell, Connor, Kenway, and hate them.
That has the same ring to it as, I don't hate black people. I have black friends. That has the same ring. I think this motherfucker's a terror. I don't even think he's a Jake. All right, either that or he's Super Coon himself.
Anyway, those are some of my favorite characters from Assassin's Creed. So before the idiots want to start, that's not the reason. The reason is I see straight through this bullshit, and I know exactly why they picked this character. It's annoying. That's like if Ghost of Tsushima, instead of using Jin, they used a white dude. People would be like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, they wouldn't
this
have.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, they wouldn't
it's
have.
Stupid. I know exactly why they're doing it. I see straight through it. It's annoying. It's pandering. It doesn't do anything for me but piss me off.
Where were the people that complained? Let's go and look up, let's go and see, let's go use ChatGPT. Japanese games that have white protagonists. Okay. Let's see. More of a Western. I meant games set in Japan. So it looks like there's a game here. And they seem to be pretty, let's see, white people. Why is there nobody complaining that the protagonists were white? Why is nobody complaining about that? They're literally white, man. Right here. They're white. Why is nobody bitching? Why is nobody complaining? Huh. And Shenmue, that they got that wrong. Shenmue isn't, the character Ryu, he's clearly Japanese, but they did make him look a little bit more, he's clearly Japanese, but they did remove some Japanese features. But he's still, you can still tell he's Asian for sure. But you see these things, man. You see it. And the problem is not that it's not that it's not accurate or anything like that. The problem, in fact, is that it's a black guy. That's the problem. The problem is that he's black. Okay? So don't let these fucking stupid ass Edomites and Hamites and Moabites and any of these heathens try to get you tossed up. The reason is because they just don't like it. All right, especially Esau, because Psalms 10 and 5 and 6, his ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all of his enemies, he puffeth at them. All right. In verse 6, so that shows you his ways are always grievous. Verse 6, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. All right, and Esau is starting to get pissed because the curses are starting to come upon him. They're starting to feel that heat. All right, they thought they were never going to be in adversity and troubles and issues, and that's speaking of bigger, larger issues to come. But in a way, that's even reminiscent of the smaller things. All right, they're not, back in the day they didn't have black people represented in media at all. All right, and now they're in a form of that trouble, that adversity in a small scale, and this is really referring to great destruction and judgment to come to them. But in a way, in a small sense, it deals with that as well, because they're not on the highlight anymore. All right, black people are getting more representation. All right, Jake has all the flavor. All right, their little white daughters are going out with black men. All right, their little daughters are starting to dress up like Keishas and Lakairas. All right, that's what they're starting to dress up like. All right, their young boys are saying, Dad, please take me to the barber so I can get a perm, because they want to have mixed kid hair. All right, Esau society is collapsing. It's falling apart. They don't like it. They don't want black representation. They want us to just go away. All right, all of us, not just the so-called black people, the so-called black people, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They don't want to see no Native Americans out there. They don't want to see us so-called Latinos out there, and they don't want to see you so-called black brothers out there either. Okay, they don't want to see that, man. They want us to all just go away, go back, shoo now. Shoo. We don't want you in the media, no magazines, no video games. Just go somewhere and be quiet so we don't have to look at you or see you. And Esau is going to get repaid for that, man. Esau is going to get ultimately repaid for that. This is 2 Maccabees 7:31. It says, and thou that has been, this is 2 Maccabees 7:31, and thou that has been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of Yahweh. Most High is going to repay these people back, man. And, and I got this last one just to be antagonistic towards you Edomites, because guess what? The Lord loves us, not you. Not you, and your women are starting to love us. These Japanese women love us. All right, these Chinese women love us. All the nation's women love the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially the so-called Negroes out there, right? Malachi 1:1-3. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Boom. Just a little bit of an antagonistic scripture for you devils. Salakia for, being more talking than scriptures. I just had the spirit on me. I want to talk about this and touch on this, but I want to grab some scriptures as well. So I got the ones that I could. If you brothers have any scriptures that you want to add, drop them down below in the comments. But these devils, man, they're just mad. All right, they're just mad that there's a Jake. And it's not that it's not historical accurate, because it is. And it's not that there's a lack of representation, because there's the Japanese woman in there with it. The problem is that they just don't want a black person in the game. And it's that simple. We see it. We see right through it. And hey, man, Jake's just popping right now. And that's that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.